Welcome back to my YouTube channel, The Scenic Route Traveler. My name is Erin and I've been traveling for almost a decade and have now been to 40 countries. The 40th country I hit is New Zealand. I'm here for the next 10 days traveling around the South Island and Auckland, so come along with me as we travel around. If you're new here, welcome back to my YouTube channel, The Scenic Route Traveler. My aim as a traveler is to explore and discover the world's most beautiful places one scenic route at a time, and share with you one video at a time. Travel along with me as I show you a 10-day itinerary for New Zealand for you to consider for your trip to New Zealand, or maybe just to inspire you to book that trip to this magical country. Our journey will take us from the bustling streets of Auckland to the serene beauty of Lake Tekapo, with stops at some of the most iconic and breathtaking locations in between. So grab your hiking boots, charge your camera, and let's dive into this perfect New Zealand itinerary. I have officially gotten to Auckland, New Zealand. I arrived at about 7:30 this morning and went to my hotel near the airport, dropped my bags off, changed, came down to the downtown area of Auckland to have some food and coffee and check out Auckland for the day before I head to Queenstown tomorrow. So come along. Welcome to Auckland, a vibrant metropolis nestled between the Pacific Ocean and the Tasman Sea, where I spent my first full day in New Zealand. Known as the City of Sails, Auckland combines urban sophistication with breathtaking natural beauty. With 53 volcanic hills, lush trails, and tranquil beaches, it's an urban playground offering an escape to nature without leaving the city. With its strategic location, Auckland is a haven for sailing and water enthusiasts alike. Auckland's multicultural vibe is reflected in its food, festivals, and strong commitment to Maori culture. As a gateway to New Zealand's stunning landscapes, this is the perfect first stop during your time in this wonderful country. I'm now in the neighborhood of Devonport in Auckland. You can see behind me the main hub, main district of Auckland is right behind me. You take a ferry, 20-minute ferry to get to Devonport, and the town is just below me there. You walk up the hill, kind of steep to get to, and I'll put the name right here on the screen so I don't mispronounce it, but the view from up here is top notch. Super glad I came here. I also recommend, I wish I had done this, is get my food to go from the town below, bring it up here for a picnic. I do really recommend checking out Auckland. I really enjoyed it for the one day that I was there in the front part of my trip. I flew in from the United States to Auckland Airport just because it was the cheapest and biggest to fly into from the United States. So I recommend at least a day. I could have though stayed a couple days. There's quite a few wineries you can go to on different islands, beaches, and some cool day trips from Auckland. So I do recommend checking out Auckland in your New Zealand adventure. I have officially made it to Queenstown. The drive from the airport is only about 10 minutes, so it's pretty easy. And I'm headed to town now because my room isn't quite ready. And I'm gonna have some lunch. I am going to the famous Ferg Burgers. I've heard so many great things about it, and I have heard that they have a vegan vegetarian burger that I'm gonna go try and see what it's all about. Welcome to Queenstown, the adventure capital of New Zealand that is surrounded by the stunning shores of Lake Wakatipu and the Southern Alps. Queenstown is known for its year-round activities, including everything from bungee jumping and skiing to serene lake cruises and scenic hikes. Queenstown's vibrant atmosphere is also reflected in its bustling restaurants, cozy cafes, and lively bars, all with the backdrop of the most beautiful, breathtaking mountain views. With its proximity to world-famous locations like Milford Sound and key wine regions, Queenstown serves as the perfect base for exploring the South Island's magnificent landscapes. I've now made it to my hotel in Queenstown. It's about 10-15 minutes of a walk outside of the main town of Queenstown. I walked over there earlier to get lunch and walk around, came back and rested for a little bit,
Now I'm going to do the Queenstown Trail, which will take a couple hours, and I've heard it's really pretty at the top. It's kind of grueling uphill, but nonetheless really pretty view at the top. So gonna finish the day with a hike and maybe some dinner after. Stopped at the local supermarket in Queenstown to grab a little bit of food. So I'll have to eat out for every meal, especially for breakfast. Grab some granola and almond milk and some pasta for dinner. I have a kitchen tonight and for the next couple nights, so I figured grab some pasta, be able to cook that and have that for a meal and then eat out for a different meal. Officially day 3 of my New Zealand trip. I got up early this morning at my hotel in Queenstown, had breakfast, thankfully at the kitchen, so the night before I went to the grocery store, got some granola and almond milk, had my own coffee at the hotel, which was really nice, and now I'm headed to Glenorchy, which is only about a 45-minute drive from Queenstown. It's considered one of the most beautiful roads from Queenstown to Glenorchy, so I'm excited. I just stopped off here at a little quick stop off to check out this view. Plan for today is to check out Glenorchy for a few hours, and then I am staying in Te Anau tonight and tomorrow night. So from Glenorchy to Te Anau, you can drive back through Queenstown, but total it's about 3 hours of driving, but again, you're surrounded by all of this, so I'm really excited, getting used to driving on the other side of the road. Well, so far. I've officially made it to the beautiful town of Glenorchy. I drove here. It's about a 45-minute drive from Queenstown, which I recommend giving yourself a little bit more time because you're going to definitely stop a few points to take photos. This is considered one of the most beautiful drives from Queenstown to Glenorchy. I'm at the famous barn behind me getting some photos, and the place lives up to the hype. If you're coming to New Zealand and you're in Queenstown, and you have the time, even for a morning or afternoon, come down to this spot. It is beautiful.
Glenorchy, a small town nestled at the edge of a stunning alpine lake, is a gateway to New Zealand's pristine wilderness. Surrounded by snow-capped mountains, ancient beech forests, and crystal clear rivers, this town offers a stark contrast to the nearby Queenstown bustle. Known as a portal to Middle-earth, Glenorchy's landscapes are featured prominently in the Lord of the Rings films, as an FYI to all the Lord of the Rings fans out there. The town also serves as a launching point for adventures in a Mount Aspiring National Park with world-class hiking trails like the Route Burn Track. With its unspoiled natural beauty and small-town charm, Glenorchy provides a genuine taste of New Zealand's South Island magic and is worth at least a day trip from Queenstown or a few days of exploring the area.
Gotten to Te Anau from Queenstown, which is about a 2-hour drive. Stunning, stunning, stunning. I had the best weather, all sunshine. There are so many sheep, they're so cute. But now I just went to my Airbnb and dropped my stuff off, and I'm here to do part of the Kepler trek. I think it's a 3 or 4 day hike, but I'm only gonna do about a couple miles of it and then head back into town and grab some groceries to make dinner at my Airbnb tonight. So I am back in my Airbnb in Te Anau for the night. I am making myself dinner because this place has a kitchen and I want to take advantage of being able to eat a little bit healthier if I eat at home. So I'm making some pasta. I have some tomato sauce and some veggies to sprinkle in there, and in the morning I got myself just some cereal with fruit, but figured might as well eat here if you have a kitchen and they have the stuff to make it with. It is currently day 4. It's an early one today. I'm doing a tour of Milford Sound and the surrounding area with a small tour group. I figured it was just a little bit easier than myself driving into Milford Sound, A, so I can enjoy the view and not have to drive and pay attention, and B, the road up there, I think you need snow chains up until end of November, and I don't have those, and it's early November. So doing a tour today, I'm really excited about it, and we're gonna have a few different spots to walk around and check out, a few shorter treks along the way, and then we're doing a boat tour to Milford Sound and around Milford Sound. So I'm very excited about it. So hopefully it's no rain in Milford Sound, but either way it's going to be really beautiful.
Milford Sound is a breathtaking fjord carved by ancient glaciers and is often called the 8th wonder of the world. This majestic landscape features towering cliffs rising dramatically from dark waters, with waterfalls cascading from heights of up to 1,000 meters. Despite its name, Milford Sound is actually a fjord formed by a glacier erosion rather than rising sea levels. To truly experience Milford's magic, I recommend taking a scenic cruise or a kayak tour where you can also potentially see resident wildlife like seals, penguins, or dolphins. The best time to visit is also after rainfall when hundreds of temporary waterfalls appear. And if you're hoping to visit when there's less crowds or the best lighting, early mornings or late afternoon trips are often the best for this. A very helpful thing to remember when you're visiting Milford Sound is that it's one of the wettest places on Earth. It receives 7 meters of rainfall annually, so be sure to pack your waterproof gear. As you saw in my videos earlier, the journey to Milford Sound is just as spectacular as the destination itself when you get to Milford Sound, with Milford Road offering the most breathtaking views along the way. I also recommend considering an overnight stay to fully immerse yourself in the area, but if you are going to do a day trip, I recommend driving and staying in Te Anau like I did. You'll have less driving to consider when you're going into Milford Sound rather than some of the day trips that do leave from Queenstown.
We stopped in the Milford Sound area again to check out a viewing spot. So far it's been the perfect day. We've had the perfect weather, which is not normally like this, so we got really lucky coming today with all the sunshine and blue skies. I've officially made it to Wanaka. I drove from Te Anau, which is about 3 hours away, where I was staying for the last couple days, and touring around Milford Sound. So I'm here to check out the famous tree in the water, which is right behind me. and I'm also going to grab some lunch and coffee here. And then after this, I'm heading to Mount Cook National Park, where I'm staying for the night and going to check out a few hikes, and I'm pretty excited.
Wanaka is a picturesque town on the southern edge of its namesake lake, which offers the perfect blend of outdoor adventures and laid-back charm. It's surrounded by snow-capped peaks and crystal clear water, and it's the perfect year-round playground for hikers, skiers, and water sports enthusiasts alike. It is certainly well worth the stop, even if it's just for a few hours, because that's all you had like I did, or I recommend staying for a few days if you have a bit of a longer trip in New Zealand. Mount Cook National Park is home to New Zealand's highest peak and is paradise for alpine enthusiasts and nature lovers. This UNESCO World Heritage Site showcases glaciers, turquoise lakes, and rugged terrain that attracts visitors year-round. For stunning views, I recommend hiking the Hooker Valley Track, which is considered an easy 3-hour return journey with spring bridges and glacier vistas. For more experienced hikers, you can tackle the challenging Mueller Hut route.
I finally made it to the Mount Cook village, where I'm staying at one of the hostels for the night. It's definitely a more affordable option than staying at the hostel in this village than some of the hotels. I think I'm staying here for about $50 for the night instead of a couple hundred, so recommend that. I'll put the link for the hostel that I stayed at and I'm staying at in the description box below. So far it's really nice, and looking forward to being able to wake up early and do the Mueller Hut track before it gets very busy late morning into the afternoon. So that's the main reason why I'm staying in the hostel in this area.
As a tip, be sure to be mindful of the park's weather, which can change pretty rapidly, so pack layers and check conditions before setting out. For a more unique perspective of Mount Cook National Park, you can also consider a scenic flight or glacier landing.
It is now day 6 of my New Zealand trip. I woke up this morning at my hostel in the Mount Cook village and got an earlier start because I'm doing the Hooker Valley Trail, which is arguably probably the most famous hike in Mount Cook and maybe even all of New Zealand. It's relatively easy compared to some of the others, and you get a really beautiful view of the kind of surrounding area. So I'm starting this in the morning, as I also heard that it gets quite busy later on. So got up early and I'm heading out to do that. And we'll kind of see where the day takes me. If there's going to be rain later, kind of decide what to do best. But I'll be staying near Lake Tekapo tonight, and it's only about an hour away from Mount Cook, so I'll be in the region for the day.
The Hooker Valley Track is Mount Cook National Park's crown jewel. It offers the most stunning alpine views and relatively easy hiking compared to some of the surrounding hikes in the area. This 10-kilometer return journey takes you through Glacier Carved Valley, crossing 3 swing bridges over the rushing Hooker River. As you hike, you'll be treated to the most breathtaking views of Mount Cook, which is New Zealand's highest peak. The trail ends at the glacier-fed Hooker Lake, where you might be able to spot icebergs floating in the water. I do recommend about 3 or 4 hours for the round-trip journey, and start early to beat the crowds. Remember to bring water, snacks, and layers because the weather can change pretty quickly. This track is very rewarding, and it showcases it in its beautiful scenery of the Southern Alps.
I've made it to the end of the Hooker Valley Trail, and I am the only one here, which I think really shows, and recommend to get up early so you have less people, because it gets pretty busy from around 10, 11 in the morning until mid-afternoon, and you will not have this place all to yourself like I do right now. And it's stunning, and I can see why this is one of the more popular trails to do in New Zealand.
If you're coming to New Zealand, especially in a shorter timeline like I did, I definitely recommend coming to Mount Cook National Park It's going to pack a punch if you can only pick one place or one national park to go to in your timeline. Come here, it's going to give you the most beautiful views and world-class hiking.
I've made it to the Tasman Glacier. It's probably one of the most bodies of water I've ever seen and been to, and got very lucky. It was supposed to rain this afternoon, and it is clear sky, making this water even bluer.
Another great stop in Mount Cook National Park is the Tasman Lake and its namesake glacier. The Tasman Glacier, New Zealand's longest at 23 kilometers, has been retreating rapidly, creating this iceberg-dotted Tasman Lake. A short walk from the car park leads to the viewing platforms overlooking the lake and the glacier. For a closer look, you can also take a boat tour to navigate amongst the icebergs and approach the glacier's face. The Blue Lakes and the Tasman Glacier view tracks are also excellent short hikes, which offer panoramic views of the area. I recommend visiting early morning for the calmest water and the best reflections. In the winter, you can also see the lake frozen over, which creates a very surreal landscape. Remember to bring your camera, warm layers, and sturdy shoes. Whether you're hiking, boating, or simply taking in the views, the Tasman Lake and Glacier area is an unmissable stop in your Mount Cook National Park itinerary.
Morning from Lake Tekapo, New Zealand. It is day 7 of my adventure, and I have gotten up early to come to the famous Tekapo church and get some photographs of this really beautiful lighting this morning. I'm then headed to Christchurch for a few hours. We're gonna grab some lunch, check out the city, and then I am staying at a beach town tonight, which I'm very excited about, and there's supposed to be a lot of wildlife at this beach, so hopefully we'll be able to see a lot of beautiful sea creatures.
Lake Tekapo has the most striking turquoise waters and is a jewel of New Zealand's South Island. The lake's unique color actually comes from fine rock flower grounds by glaciers. Don't forget to miss the Church of the God Shepherd, a picturesque stone chapel on the lakeshore. And as part of the UNESCO Dark Sky Reserve, Lake Tekapo offers the most incredible stargazing opportunities. Christchurch, known as the Garden City, is a resilient urban center rebuilding after a major 2011 earthquake. With a mix of historic charm and innovative new spaces, vibrant street art, and the tranquil Avon River, Christchurch offers something for all travelers.
Finally made it to Kaikōura. I'm staying here for the night. I drove here from Lake Tekapo, which is about 5 hours. I had a quick stop in Christchurch. I was going to spend a little bit more time there, but ended up having some traffic and wanted to get here before it got dark so I could check in and relax. So I had a little bit to eat, walked around for a few minutes, but headed up here, and it's stunning. I specifically chose this because of the kind of inland spot for which you can see the mountains and the ocean, and my hotel is just right behind me with the view of the ocean, so I really can't complain, and I'm kind of looking forward to relaxing a little bit here at the beach with the mountains. For dinner tonight, I went to the grocery store. I wasn't super hungry because I had a late lunch in Christchurch. So I went to the grocery store, having a bit of a girl dinner on the beach with the mountains in the background. I've got some granola that I'm gonna munch on, some bananas, strawberries, and I found some vegan chocolate, which had a bit of a sweet tooth, so that is really great, and you don't always find that in grocery stores, especially in a smaller town. So having that girl dinner on the beach. Good morning, it is day 7 of my New Zealand trip. I have woken up in Kaikōura, so I'm staying here where it's sunny for another day and then driving to Wanaka or Queenstown tomorrow and staying there for my flight on Monday. So I'm looking forward to relaxing here. It is beautiful with the ocean and mountains, which is the best combination, I think, in my opinion. So looking forward to enjoying here.
Welcome to Kaikōura, the most stunning coastal town on New Zealand's South Island, and is a must-visit destination for its rich marine life and breathtaking landscapes. Nestled between the seaward Kaikōura Range and the Pacific Ocean, it's an ideal stop in the Kaikōura National Park. Renowned for its incredible wildlife, Kaikōura offers some of the best whale watching in the world, where you can spot sperm whales, dolphins, and fur seals. For a closer look, consider taking a boat tour or swimming with dolphins out in the ocean for an unforgettable experience. For hiking enthusiasts, the Kaikōura Peninsula Walkway provides the most spectacular views of the coastline and rugged cliffs. I recommend visiting early morning or late afternoon for the best lighting and fewer crowds. Remember to always bring a camera, sunscreen, and layers for the changing weather. The coastal winds can be very strong, so dress accordingly. Whether you're exploring the ocean or the trails, Kaikōura is well worth a stop in your New Zealand itinerary. This was definitely a location for me that was a bit out of the way from the other spots that I was visiting in the South Island in New Zealand, but I could not have picked a better spot to add on my itinerary. I could not recommend this place more. It was well worth the few extra hours of driving to go a little bit more north and have this experience and be able to hike in this beautiful place and experience the ocean and the mountains all together.
Day 8 of my New Zealand adventure. I got up this morning in the beach town I've been staying in the past 2 nights. I'm headed up to Queenstown where I'm staying for the night, and it's about an 8-hour drive, but I think I'm going to break it up into short increments so it doesn't feel like I'm driving 8 hours straight. I'm going to stop in Christchurch for some food, probably, Lake Tekapo or Lake Pukaki again to hopefully see Mount Cook and some of the surrounding mountains, and then break it up even further by there with little stops, I'm sure, along the way to help break up a long day of driving. But I'm glad I didn't try to break it up. I thought about leaving yesterday and driving a couple hours yesterday, but I enjoyed yesterday so much with the different walks and hikes that I did that driving 8 hours today, but it's going to be gloomy in most places that I would have gone today, so it's sunny here and beautiful, and I'm surrounded by oceans and the mountains. So long day of driving, but it's at least one of the most beautiful places that I've ever driven in and been in. So not a bad way to spend 8 hours. It was about 8 hours worth of driving, so full day of driving, which isn't ideal, but what can you do? It did help that I stopped in Christchurch for lunch, and then I stopped in Lake Tekapo again just to kind of eat my lunch and relax a little bit. So made decent time, had sunshine most of the way, which that's all I can ask for. So in Queenstown for the rest of the night, and then in the morning into the airport. We're on to day 9 of my New Zealand adventure.
Today I woke up in Queenstown and went to the airport, dropped the car off, flew from Queenstown to Auckland, so not much happening this morning, but now I'm at my hotel in downtown Auckland. I'm just gonna kind of hang around the hotel for a little bit, relax, and then tonight I have a friend who lives in Chicago who's also in Auckland and New Zealand traveling around, so we're getting together for dinner tonight, and that should be really fun, and kind of finishing exploring Auckland today. And then tomorrow I leave. I have a few hours in the morning to explore, but then I'll have to head to the airport, which is bittersweet.
Final morning in New Zealand. I stayed in downtown Auckland last night. Now I'm just going out for a walk because I only have a few hours left before I have to head to the airport and before I have a very long travel day, so I'm getting as much steps in as possible before a long travel day commences.
And that's a wrap on my latest New Zealand travel vlog. Check out my travel blog post for more details about visiting each of these places in the description box below. You can find more of my travel blog posts on my website, The Scenic Route Traveler. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more travel videos. Thanks for watching and happy travels.